What's up, guys, and welcome back to another installment of Motivation 3. Today we got something for you. We're going to test ride on the CBR 300R. It's a 2017 model. Pretty good little bike, but I'm going to give you the spec lowdown on it and tell you a little bit about it. Guys, the CBR 300R, it's a single cylinder 4-stroke. Displacement on the bike is actually 286 cc. The bore and stroke is 76 millimeter by 63 millimeter. The compression ratio is 10.7 to 1. It is obviously it's liquid cooled. It's dual overhead cam, 4 valves per cylinder. It's a 6-speed transmission on it, and it's chain driven. It's a good little bike, good little starter bike for someone that doesn't have a lot of experience riding. The wheelbase on the bike, I think, is 54.3 inches. The rake is 25.3 degree. The seat height on this thing is 30.7 inches, so that's pretty low. That's good for someone maybe smaller or doesn't really have a lot of confidence that they can't flat foot something a little bit bigger. Fuel capacity on this bike is 3.4 gallons, which will get you about 71 miles per gallon, and that is awesome. We're all looking for better fuel economy these days, I think, and this is something to get you just that. The curb weight on it is 357 pounds non-ABS and 364 ABS. And this one right here we're riding today is non-ABS. I think the retail on this bike when it came out was like $44.99, something like that. Retail on a new one is probably about the same. They haven't changed anything in the last few years on the CBR 300R, other than the color of the bike. So yeah, that's it. The CBR 300R 2017 model. Stay tuned, guys. I'm letting Earl drive the ZX6. He's never been on a 600 or bigger bike, and I'm getting a chance to test ride and review this CBR 300R 2017 model. First off, impression, this bike is light. It seems like it'd be pretty fun in the canyons or whatever. Seems like it'd be a good bike for a starter. It really doesn't have any power, but that's what you want with a starter bike anyway, right? But yeah, 2017 CBR 600R. Little bikes are pretty fun. He told me he dropped his the other day, so I'm kind of worried that I hope he don't drop the ZX6 there. He's doing all right. He's a little nervous, he said, but oh, it's just like any other Honda. It revs out quick. Oh, I'm so used to the quick shifter too, and it just feels weird. But very upright seating position, and that's any little small displacement bike that you get. It's going to be real upright, but ergonomically, man, that's really good. You know, this would be a great bike for around town, hanging out and things like that. Man, that's a sexy bike right there, ain't it? That ZX6 is about the sexiest thing on the road. But let's get back on topic. It's a pretty good little instrument panel here. Oh, missed a gear. But anyway, got your miles per hour right in the center, got your time, got your a fuel gauge on it, got your coolant, got your odometer, and you got an analog tachometer there, which I like the analog tachometer because you just seems like you can see it a little better. Yeah, he ain't used to that. The bike's not very loud either, but he says he's about to get another exhaust on it. So we'll see if it'll liven it up some. We're gonna make a loop back to the house, and then we'll take a little ride. But yeah, I like it. Seat position's real nice on it. Very small tank. The bike feels real skinny, which it is real skinny, but just feels real skinny. Raised up clip-ons is a little different, but like I said, ergonomically it's set up for somebody that doesn't have a lot of experience. And yeah, just go that way and then turn back around. We'll go back to the house. Huh? They gonna follow me? All right. And if you remember back a few videos back, I was talking about doing a bike giveaway, and the one I was looking at was a 2016 CBR. It was yellow in color, and it's literally the same bike. They really haven't changed the CBR 300 in a minute. But yeah, for a good beginner bike where somebody doesn't have a lot of experience riding, this is perfect for them. Or your girlfriend or whatever that she doesn't want a real heavy bike or a real fast bike, it'd be great for them. The mirrors are in pretty good position. They're nice and high, really visible behind you. I do like that. Foot placement is kind of weird, but like I said, it's a beginner bike that you're more in a upright sitting position. So I tell you, you can ride this bike for miles and miles and miles and not get fatigued. And that's one thing good about it, especially when you're learning how to ride. You want to get as much seat time as you possibly can. But overall, just from this little quick ride on this bike, I like it. It's very narrow, very agile feeling. Everything's where you need it. It's easy reachable. I wish I had a little bit more braking power, but with a single side disc brakes, it kind of is what it is on it as far as the braking power. And let's see. I mean, it ain't fast by no means, but it's just enough power for a daily commuter, and that's what I would consider this bike. I don't even know if I would consider it a starter bike. Like, anybody who wanted a daily commuter would do good on this little motorcycle. Like I said, telling him earlier, a 600 class sport bike or a 1000 class sport bike is not really good for daily commuting. It's just basically for, set up for track. And but I mean, you can commute on it. Like I tell him, you get used to it after a while. So, but it is what it is. But yeah, I may get back on this bike a little bit later. We might take it on some twisties right now. But I'm gonna get back on the ZX6 right now, and we're gonna head out and go do something. I don't know yet. All right, back on the ZX6 now. Something with some real power. If you can call it that. But first impression of the CBR 300R, it's a good little bike. I think it would be perfect for someone even like myself, going canyon carving. It's definitely a good bike for a beginner. And like I said, somebody with a little bit smaller weight. Very easy bike to move around. Just me, I don't know, you get used to one thing and then you go to something like that, it just feels real odd, especially the way the power delivers through the power band. Of course, I didn't really get into the power band, but maybe in a second I'll get into that. But just a little short ride I did, you could obviously feel that the bike is lacking a lot of power. But I mean, it is what it is. It's 300 cc's. But still, it's a good little bike. It's a good looking little bike too. You know, people know my feelings on the CBR 600 are, I don't like it. I don't like the way it looks. But it's a good bike. And but that 300, I actually like the way it looks. As far as the smaller displacement bikes, it's one of the better looking bikes to me. They kind of knocked it out of the park. So, but it looks like a true sport bike. Got a friendly motorcyclist. Yeah, we're just gonna ride around now and see if we can find anybody out. Such a beautiful day out. Somebody's liable to be riding somewhere. And if we don't find anybody, oh well. At least we're out riding. See back there, Earl's back there on the CBR. And Earl says that he wants a ZX6R now. He was looking at the ZX6R and the GSXR 600, and he said I kind of made his mind up for him on which one he wants. He said he's in love with the bike, but then again, he don't want one exactly like I got, which is the one he's looking at is black, so it wouldn't be just like it, it'd just be the same kind of bike. But I told him to definitely get on somebody's Gixxer and ride it, because ergonomically those bikes are sound. They're very easy to ride, very comfortable to ride, unlike the ZX6 or the R6 or something like that. A little bit more, they seem a little bit more race oriented. Now, I'm not going to say that the GSXR is not a race oriented bike, it doesn't feel like it when you're on it. The seating position it's leaned over, but it's not quite as leaned over. And I might let Earl ride his bike again here in a second and get on his little CBR, get a little bit more review. Actually, I know for a fact I'm going to do that. I'm going to pull off over here at the local mall, and then we're going to trade motorcycles. He's going to be surprised, but I think he'll be alright on this bike. He's probably thinking, where the hell are you going? Yeah, I just want to get a chance to ride that bike out in town to see what it really feels like. That little short ride wasn't really enough. A switch. I bet you was like, where the hell's he going?
Maybe he needs to go to the mall for something.
No, I ain't gotta go to the mall for nothing. Just want to ride this bike in town and see what it feels like. You good with it?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Alright. Oh, let's get on this little hog. I got his blinker still on. Alright. Oh, now we're back on the CBR 300R. We're gonna give it a whirl around town. If I can get this thing in gear. It's definitely different. I just want to see what it's got. I mean, it is what it is. It took me about about a good country mile to get to 60 miles per hour on it. But that ain't what this bike's built for. Now, I feel like I'm riding kind of tall, which I am, because I'm sitting way up. But what gear am I in? I don't think it has a gear indicator. Actually, it does not have a gear indicator. So I gotta just kind of know what gear I'm in. I'm kind of used to that with the Grom, but that's one thing I think they could probably put on it as a gear indicator, because especially being for a beginner bike, people want to know what gear they're in, especially beginners, because they might gear down too low or whatever and squeak the tire out and lose it. But I mean, once you get experience riding, you can feel, basically what gear you're in, just by the RPMs, how the bike reacts. Let's see, we get down to first here. All right. Oh, Earl's in heaven back there, riding that. God, that thing revs out quick. See how he does on this little curve here. He should be alright. Yeah, this bike lacks power, it really does. It was bogging down pretty hard right there. But I don't know, man, it is a sound little motorcycle. I feel like I could just whip this thing around anywhere, and not have to worry about it, being that it is so narrow. I mean, my legs feel like they're literally about to touch. Like there's hardly any tank there. And just the profile of the bike, I mean, this is very, very narrow. But I had a Ninja 250 one time, and it was the same way. It was very, very, very narrow, very narrow. And that's what you get with these little small displacement bikes. They don't want to go in the first worth a damn. Who needs first? Oh, you need it when you take it off. I mean, to be honest, the bike don't feel like it's got a lot more power than that the little Grom does, but I know the Grom weighs a lot less too. You can take off pretty quick on it. This thing revs up pretty quick in first gear, so you don't get a lot of mile per hour in first gear. But I mean, it's capable. Like, my biggest gripe so far is it needs a bit more braking power. That single-sided brake on the front, I know they do it on the smaller bikes, but I really feel like they should put dual calipers just for safety reasons. I mean, the bike can get up and go, 100 miles per hour probably. I don't see why I couldn't get that fast. And if somebody, you're not really going to be going 100 miles per hour down a main road like this, but even going 45, 50 miles per hour, people do that sudden stop. Want a little bit more braking power. I do like the mirror placement. The seat position is wonderful. And other than that, man, like I said, it's a sound bike. That's really all I can say about it. It'll get you from point A to point B and get you there comfortable. I hear rumors that these manufacturers are fixing to start making these bikes a little bit more sporty for basically track purposes. Now I know Kawasaki is talking about it, and Suzuki's talking about it. They have been for years. Honda following suit too. I mean, all the major Japanese manufacturers are going to do the exact same thing that the other one's doing. I mean, literally, they do the exact same thing. But we just have to see. Get on it with the Ford. We're going to get on a road where I can open this one up a little bit. We're going to go up here to Chicken Plant Road. Maybe there ain't no traffic since it's been on Sunday. Like I said, this little thing is nimble. Wish the foot pegs were a little higher. Bring your legs up a little more. That'd be kind of cool. And you can get aftermarket rear sets for it, if that's what you want to do. And I see the suspension is not adjustable on the front. If I were to track this bike and make it a little track weapon, I'd definitely upgrade the suspension. The rear feels pretty stiff. I don't know. I'm sure it's adjustable. Probably never been adjusted. But yeah, the front, I would have to put some different forks on there. Something with some adjustment. Most people wouldn't do things like the bike like this because they buy it with intentions of getting rid of it. If I bought a small bike like this for myself, it wouldn't be for getting rid of it. It would be solely for like tracking, canyon carving. It would be a blast. I know it would be. But all in all, so far I really don't have anything bad to say about it other than it. I feel like they could get a little bit more power out of it. I know it doesn't have modes on it, so that was one thing I was thinking maybe I'm in the wrong mode. But yeah, this bike don't have any modes on it. We're gonna get out here and open it up a little bit and see what it does. Bug fell in my helmet. Oh, we got 90, 91, 92. Hey, it got up to 92. Got it up to 92. 92. 92. 92. And then get up and go a little bit. It ain't quite like that, but yeah, I ain't monetized yet. I ain't worried about speeding other than getting a ticket. But 92 on this little bike is it feels like you're going 122. No, it really don't, but you know what I mean. So got real skinny tires on it. Most smaller displacement bikes do. I think all of them really have that same size tire. I think you could put a bigger tire in the back, but the tires on it, it would help it lean in a lot faster, I assume. I know that's the way it is on a 600 when people put a 190 on the back. It takes a little bit more to get it in to the corner and out. People like doing it, but because the 1000s have a 190 on it, I guess they, oh, 1000's got a 190 on it. Yeah, but not the same bike. But yeah, this little bike's actually fun. I'll get into this corner. Oh yeah, you can kill the corners with this thing. Alright, my final, and this will be my final thoughts on this motorcycle. If you're starting out, great bike for you. That 600 back there, that 636 is way too much for you starting out. If you're an experienced motorcycle rider and you want to just hoon on the track with something easy to ride, it's not going to wear you out, great bike for that. Like I said, I don't have too many complaints on it. It's fun. These little bikes are reliable, we know that. This red light ain't gonna change, but we're gonna wait on this car behind us to make it change. But like I said, these little bikes are reliable. They're bulletproof. I mean, you can, and they rev out. I mean, the thing revs out 10.5. That's pretty high. But you gotta put it in that higher range to get any power out of it. Ergonomically, it sits fine. It's very comfortable. It's just a good little bike. Just a good little bike. So, alright. Hope you enjoy this review. I know it's a little bit more going on than a review, but we're just getting out here riding, and I figured I'd review this bike while we did it. Alright guys, we're going to leave it right there. Hope you enjoyed the review. If you like the content, keep on coming back. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification. Give us some likes, give us some comments. But anyway guys, till then, peace.
Whoa, 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 yeah, we are in the place to be. Yeah, 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 yeah.